Good afternoon, lady and gentlemen. Thanks for allocating your time in this busy schedule, and it's a small group training. I'm here to share my knowledge and experience today on titles and caveat in Malaysia, understanding the National Land Code 1965. Well, we'll start the training with ice breaking. Okay, first I would like to introduce myself. My name is Pramila Vetrivanan. I'm a law graduate. I've got experience being in a legal line. My expertise are more on property matters, property disputes. I have conducted auctions for many years from 2016. These are my brief profile for you to know. Anyway, good afternoon and welcome for the training. We'll start this training with ice breaking. I would also like to know the small group that we have here today. Okay, we'll start with this gentleman. Gentleman, by the way, what's your name?
Morgan.
Morgan. Where are you from?
I'm from Kuala Lumpur.
Kuala Lumpur. What's your expertise?
Expertise also in property.
Property.
Yeah.
How long have you been in property line, Mr. Morgan?
50 years.
50 years.
Yeah.
Lovely. What about the gentleman over there?
My name is Lavin.
Lavin. Hi, Mr. Lavin. Good to see you here today, and thank you very much for being with us. May I know what you're really doing?
I'm studying
You're studying, and what you're planning to do in the future?
law.
Law. Good. Thank you. So you are here to know about what is title, what is caveat,
Yes.
because you what is your background? Your parents in property line?
Yes.
Yes, you do. All right. Thank you. This little lady, young pretty lady, could you please tell me a little bit more about you?
Hi, my name is Durgashna Vashaini.
You're working as well.
Yes.
Good to know. What line? In the legal line?
Yes.
Good. Okay, what is your expertise in conveyancing, I believe, because I learned a little bit about you. You seems to be a brilliant lady though. So, well, okay. Would you like to share a little bit of your backgrounds, more about your knowledge, Mr. Morgan, because since you are the pioneer here, probably a little bit of what you know before I go further on the topics that I'm going to share with you today.
In regards to
Of course, definitely it's about title and caveat, Mr. Morgan.
title is an instrument
Okay,
for issued by the land authority
alright,
or the land registry
okay,
for a property.
alright, thank you so much. I'm sure Ms. Durgashana and Mr. Lavinesh, you might not have the certain knowledge what is title about, because something is very new for your belief. Well, I'm here to give you a little bit knowledge of what is title and what is caveat in Malaysia. Okay. Well, introduction of land title. Okay, introduction to land titles. Okay. First of all, before we going into what is land title, we must know what is the statute that we're going to refer, the provisions in Malaysia, that is National Land Code Act 1965. Everything to do with land matters. Okay, so A to Z, when you're going to buy a property, when you're going to buy a condo properties, it's inclusive of condominium, land, commercial items, residence, all comes under property. Alright, so when you're going to buy a property, when you're going to rent a property, you still need a title. Okay, buying a property. So title is something. It's like when you come to this world, you are given a birth certificate. So same goes to a property. So same goes to a property that we call title, land title grant. Okay, so when a title, when a property it's already built or there's an alienated land, will have a title for it. So that it's a document to call, a legal document to say that this property is, what is the number, what is the plot, where is the property located, what is the district, what is the mukim, where is the state, the details of the property will be stated in the title. So we call a document, a paper. So that paper we call title. Okay. All right. Briefly, what is a land title? I just mentioned legal proof of ownership. Okay. In that title, we will have the owner's name, the owner's detail, and then you will also know who is the owners. If you sometimes we will have 10 owners, 20 owners, 1 owner, 2 owners, all the details will be stated in the title, right? Torrent system principle, okay. This is something that you should know, it's a general knowledge, alright? Okay, torrent system, in the torrent system is something guaranteed system. Okay, it's a guaranteed system. Torrent system is the state guaranteed system of a land title registration, where the government maintains a register of land holdings that conclusively proves ownership. That's called torrent system. Well, we will also get some knowledge from Mr. Morgan. Mr. Morgan, can you please briefly tell me what is torrent system? To your
Torrent
knowledge?
system, through my knowledge, is a system where we are using from Australian. It's
Okay.
the name of a person.
Yeah, Torrance is the name of a person in
who-
Australia.
Australian. We are
Ready?
using that.
And gentlemen, please take note of this torrent system. What is torrent system?
Torrent system is we are using the system from Australia.
Yeah.
Australian system, torrent system.
Torrent is the name of a person.
Established, and we are using that from Australia.
Yeah.
We are using the land matters on
Australia.
Australia.
So Torrent is the one who brought up the system. So the system become a torrent system, correct?
It's not torrent system, the system used.
Used.
Yes.
So when you buy a land, you
Used.
register the name.
Yes, the system is every ownership must have a document which is called a title, and they have a registry
Yeah.
where the registry will register all records.
All records.
Of
That's
the-
called
Yes,
torrent
ownership.
system. Thank you so much, Mr. Morgan. Okay, that is called torrent system. Based on registration, not possession. Could you please explain what is based on registration on possession? That means when you buy a property, you possess the property. That means you own the property. Alright, based on the registration.
Based on registration, I don't understand. Not possession.
Not possession, that means you don't own a property, you don't do any initial payment, that means you don't possess the property.
Based on registration.
Based on registration.
Yeah, based on registration, why not possession?
Not possession means probably they are not occupying the land. Okay? We'll go on that shortly, Mr. Morgan. Okay. We will go on categories of titles. Categories of titles. Alright? Categories of titles. Here we have freehold, leasehold, strata title, Malay reservation, customary land, government land. Okay, refer to National Land Code section 76 to 78. Again, you still have to refer to National Land Code. This is called National Land Code. Alright? NLC section 76 to 78. So you go to the respective section to check what is actually stated. Alright? Okay, as I told you, freehold. What is freehold? Okay, what is freehold? Freehold is a ownership in perpetuity. That means you buy a property when the title says freehold, that means the government will not take back the property. There's no time limit given to you. Let's say when you buy a property, let's say in a location you're buying a property and it's a freehold, it's always your house there and nobody is going to disturb. Nobody is not going to disturb. Means the state authority, the new projects, new let's say the area is coming developing, shopping areas. So when they build such areas, they need easy access for the public. Sometimes they want to cut through the roads, this and that, right? Okay, leasehold. When you say leasehold title, you see, ownership of the land by the way of a lease for stipulated duration. When you say stipulated duration, there are various of lease. So according to section 76, section 76. Okay, section 76. For a term not exceeding 99 years. Okay, so when they give you 99 years, they will also have the expiry date. So they build the property on the respective land. You are given a 99 years. So let's say year 2000 year they build a property on that land and it's a leasehold. So they give you 99 years. 99 years. Okay. So then they will have the expiry date. After the expiry date, what happens? You still have to go back to the land office to pay a premium like a seva. They will calculate and tell you how much you are supposed to pay. And then they will extend the lease. So that's the difference. In the freehold, you don't need to pay anything. For leasehold, yes you do. Alright? Okay, strata title. We'll take a 5 minutes break. Can you please off the... They just want to know how we conduct and the manner of we contributing the message, this kind. So it's true or not true, that's a different thing.
Okay.
That one is when you're going to real corporate learn.
See, freehold is a property where...
Now, take book the grab.
What am I
Bring your
saying?
phone, bring
No,
your
book
phone.
பண்ணியா அதான் அவர் தூக்கிட்டு வர சொன்னீங்க.
Okay, getting back to our National Land Code. Okay, section 76 as briefly said, the alienation, you see, as I told you, every property they have a title. Okay, so when the land office is going to give you a title, they have to alienate the land to you. What is the meaning of alienation? Okay, alienation, alienate means alienate means to dispose of state land in perpetuity for a term of years or in consideration of payment of rent and otherwise in accordance with section 76 or when used in relation of the period before the commencement of this act. Okay, alienated land, there's two meaning there. You see, alienate means to dispose of state land in perpetuity. Perpetuity means perpetuity means it's freehold. Okay, perpetuity means it's freehold. So a state land to dispose in perpetuity, that means they give you the land and you build property. You don't need to pay anything to the land office. When you come to leasehold, they give you the land to a certain period. Here it's 99 years. So after the 99 years, you have the expiry date. Upon expiry date, you pay a premium to the land and they will extend the stay. Mr. Morgan, what say you? Is it correct?
Yeah, correct.
Right, thank you. Okay. Well, again, under this sections, the category of title, leasehold, freehold, strata title, I haven't come to you yet. So these are all mainly under this 76 to 78 provision. Alright? Okay, we talk about strata title now. What is strata title? A birth certificate for a land, a vacant land, where on the land, excuse me madam, so on the strata title, what is a strata title? Strata title, a land with a title, vacant land, where you build a property with so many occupants. That means like condo, apartments. Can a shop lot be under strata title?
It all depends on the development,
On the development, okay.
whether it's owned by one ownership or a number of ownership.
Number of ownership, okay. So the strata came from a master title, from a big clan where you have a master title, and then each individual on the property where they have condo, apartment, flat, where they get separate title. The separate title is called strata title. So from the master title they will give a separate title. That means each property on the land will have a one separate title. It's called strata title. Okay. The big title we call it master title. Okay. Well, we come back. Next is Malay reservation land. Okay, when you talk about Malay reservation land, Malay reserved land. Sorry. This land is alienated for a Malays. Here, the property cannot be sold to non-Muslim. Am I bored here, Mrs. Dugashana? You feel like dozing off? No, you sure?
Yeah.
You, Mr. Morgan?
I'm okay, alright.
You alright? After a heavy lunch? Have you taken your lunch, Mr. Morgan?
Yes, very
What
light.
about you, Mr. Lavin?
Yes.
You, Ms. Dugashana? You did? Right. Hope I'm not being here and bored, giving you a very boring topic here. Hope you're enjoying. Okay. Malay Reserve is literally a land alienated for Malays. Here, this property cannot be transferred or next ownership cannot be non-Malays. It's only for Malays. Okay. In case-to-case basis, there are circumstances where Malay reserve land has been sold to non-Malays. Right? No? Cannot sell at all.
Yes, you can.
Cannot at all forever.
Malay reservation land is alienated to Malays. Lands comes under the state.
State.
So the state for Malay reservation is governed by the ruler. I
Ruler.
mean the Sultan.
The state authority.
Yes.
Alright, okay.
And Malay reservation cannot be sold to a non-Malay.
Non-Malay at all. So it's only meant for Malays. So do you know this, the difference? Now you know, darling? Now you know, Miss Dukashan. Alright. Customary land. Can you just tell me what is customary land?
Customary land, there are two types. One is community, Malay MC land, Malay community land. So these are different from Malay reservation. They are different from Malay reservation.
Alright.
So like example, in governed by state, this is only sold for the community.
Okay.
They can only transfer to community until unless it is by way of court, you can dispose to another person.
So that means community, the customary land is within the community.
Yes.
It is only transferable within the people staying around there.
Yes.
Is it something to do with temporary occupation license, TOL, Mr. Morgan?
No, that is TOL occupant's license is given by the land authority for usage.
Usage temporarily on the land.
Yes.
Alright, okay. Is there any time period where the people there can occupy?
They occupy on a time frame without the government or land authority can.
Take back. Okay, this government land. Government land meaning it's like something like Mardi, Filda, because
No.
we
Government
enjoy
land
the facility, but it belongs to the government.
Government land means no man's land.
No man's land.
That is
So that
government
means that
land.
anybody can claim.
Yes.
Can we claim if it's a government land, that's no man's land? That means title is not given yet, or is the title
If
available?
it's title available or given, then it's not a common land.
Alright.
It belongs to somebody.
Okay, yes, exactly.
What is
Thank
it?
you very much, Mr. Morgan. On that point, Miss Durgashana, did you got what Mr. Morgan shared with us today?
Yes.
Alright, okay. Do you understand the flow?
Yeah.
Little bit of what is title all about?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're going to conduct the training in our next section, yeah? Alright, let's go to the next slot. Okay, registration of titles, role of land office, land registry versus land office title. Title must be registered to be valid, referred to section 92 to 96. Okay, basically we have already done that part, I think, right? Regulation of 92. Okay. Final indefeasibility of final title and rights of dealing. So section 22 to section 96 is practically deals with the rights of the indefeasibility of final title and rights of the dealings. So indefeasibility meaning once the name is registered on the title, it is not changeable. Correct, Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
That's called indefeasibility. So here, role of a land office. What is the role of a land office basically? Miss Shana, what is role of land office? Anything to do with land.
Yes.
What is role of land office, Mr. Loving?
I don't know.
No, land office, when you say the word land office to deal with what?
It deals with all land cases.
Land cases, property matters, whatever to do with land, right? Okay, land registry and land office title. Land registry, okay? Land registry, you will, every state in our Malaysia, we have how many states?
14.
14.
So we have land registry, land, that means pejabat tanah dan galian, right, Mr. Morgan? So we have 14 land office.
Pengara.
Pengarah. Alright? So, land office title. That means, okay, in that state, in Selangor, we have Gombak, we have 9 districts. 9 districts. So, that then it comes the land office. 14 in Malaysia, we have 14 states. We have land registry, land office, pejabat tanah dan galian, and then we have pejabat tanah,
Pengara.
pengarah. Okay, pentadbir. Where does pentadbir comes here, isn't it, Mr. Mohan?
Pengara tanah dan galian is the registry. Pejabat tanah.
Pejabat tanah lah. Okay. So pentadbir comes here, pengarah comes here.
Pentadbir comes there.
Where? Here?
There.
Here. This is pengarah. So pengarah means director.
Director of Land in Mines.
This is land administrator.
Land office, land administrator.
Land administrator, okay. So in land office we call director, right? Director general. No?
Land registry.
Land registry. Land registry. So in land office we call administrator. Land administrator, okay? That's the difference. So the main big land office we have 14 in Malaysia. So each 14 will have branches, district land office, each state, okay? Title must be registered to be valid. Of course, you know, this is the title, this is how a title look like. Then we have Pajakan Negeri, or I'll come later for that. So you have to have a valid registration title. So this is all doing by section 92 to 96. Okay, strata title, as I mentioned to you, governed by Strata Titles Act and National Land Code, units must be multi-story building, as I told you just now. The strata title, the big title, multi-story. Okay, shared common property, that means shared common property. We have many people staying on one title. You get me? How Mr. Loving? managed by management committee. For one condo, you will have one management committee. Joint management committee. Management committee is the office bearers we call joint management bearers. Okay, alright. So this is how this is called strata title. Yeah, this is called strata title. Okay, where you qualified and final titles. Okay. Can you just tell me a little bit of this, Mr. Morgan? Qualified title.
The qualified title, the property, once a property is built, they issue a qualified title.
Yes.
That means the property is qualified for a title.
That means when a vacant land, when you put up a building, a property, a title is given by the land office. Okay, temporary title we call it. Final title confirmed and surveyed. That means they'll confirm the vicinity, the earth, the environment, the pollution. What do you call that?
No, final title is on the demarcation of the area of the land.
Oh, okay. Demarcation of the area means what is
Demarcation
the
of the
size of the
Yes.
land area, the built-up area. We
Yes.
call it final title. So each property will have the correct measurements. The measurements. Demarcation is a measurement of a land. So that's confirm and survey. They will survey, right? Must convert to a full legal rights. How do we do that?
Do what?
Must convert to for full legal rights. It means whether the property is for people to stay in that property, whether it's it's safe or not. What do you call that? Certificate of fitness.
Must convert for the full legal rights means then it comes back to the registry. So
Registry.
make sure you are the legal owner.
Okay, sorry. So this is called when you see the word legal rights, that means the registration part, right? Again, National Land Code section 134 to 142. Again, the National Land Code comes. Okay, everything is stated here. Alright? Okay, powers of the registrar. Correct errors in register, refuse improper registration, safeguard land registration system. Again comes the National Land Code. He is the registrar. He will be controlling all this. One head will be sitting, as I told you. 14 land office, we will have few districts. In one in the state of Selangor, we will have few districts. So few districts, this will be one. He is the land office registrar, the big man, the big boss. So these are all the kunjus, where you have the small land office. The pengarah will go and check with him. Okay, briefly, right. Well, this is the second module. Would you like to take a 5 minutes break? Would you like to have some coffee? Could you please off the camera, Miss Long?
Okay, like.
Thank you.
On topic day, 15 minutes on topic 1 hour.
Okay, now we will start an introduction, a new topic about caveat. Okay, do anybody know here what is caveat all about?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Morgan?
This caveat is endorsement. The word used as the abbreviation for endorsement to protect the interests
Okay,
of a property in the land office. So we lodge the caveat.
okay. Who can actually lodge a caveat, Mr. Morgan?
Anybody can lodge if they got an interest in that property.
In the property, okay. Legal notice, it's actually a legal notice on the title. Alright? It is a low notice that we are giving on the title, for the title, that I'm going to put a caveat on the title to stop any transaction further. Alright? Anybody. That means you can put on my title. Alright? Okay? So that's called caveat. Means it's an instrument, it's a document.
No.
Sorry, no? It's a form. It's a notice. It's a, yeah, I said right, it's an instrument. It's an instrument, excuse me gentlemen, it's an instrument to stop the transaction of a property not to be sold, not to be transferred. Okay, let's see if there's a caveat on the property. Once the property is sold, we cannot do the transfer of name. A sold to B, from A, B's name cannot go into the title. That's called caveat. Okay. So prevent dealings, protect unregistered interest under the section. Again, National Land Code comes. National Land Code Act 19, section 3 to 3. We'll explain further. Okay. We'll go. Types of caveats that we can lodge. There are 4 types of caveats. One is private caveat, registrar's caveat, court's caveat, compare rights and authority, and procedure. This is called trust caveat basically. So as I told you, private caveat, it's a private person, any individual can lodge caveat. Registrar's caveat is who? Registrar is who is the registrar? The state authority.
The state authority.
The land office.
Yes.
Okay, they can lodge a caveat, right, Mr. Morgan?
They can only lodge a caveat when there is
A
some dispute on the land matters.
On the matter, yes.
Oh.
Court's caveat. Court has got right to put a caveat on a property if any disputes between the parties.
That is registrar's caveat.
Registrar caveat. Okay. Compare rights and authority and procedure is called trust caveat, right?
Compare rights.
What is trust caveat basically, Mr. Morgan?
Trust caveat, the property is held by trustees, trust.
Okay.
If any dispute, so they lodge a caveat. So I create Morgan Trust Fund.
Oh, right, okay.
So that is the trust
Alright.
caveat.
Thank you very much. We'll move on. Okay, private caveat is an individual, as I said, interested, beneficial purchases, etc., etc. Again, National Land Code comes, alright? Registrar's caveat, as I told you, lodged by land office, public interest or administrative need. Again, National Land Code section 320. Alright? Okay, lodged upon court orders, usually during legal dispute. Okay, what is meaning of caveat? Again, I told you caveat is likened on an injunction that is aimed at keeping the disputed property in status quo. Okay? These all the cases we call Shade Agil, Baraka in Damodran. Okay, Damodran again Vasudeva. A caveat is nothing more than a statutory injunction to keep the property in status quo until the court has an opportunity to discover what are the rights of the parties. Okay, basically, Mr. Mugan, would you be able to explain
Yeah,
this?
the court caveat is not, court caveat is they call it a PO, proprietary order. Perintah dilarang. So that's the court's caveat. This one caveat is likened to injunction, meaning of caveat.
Mm. What is injunction, Mr. Morgan?
Injunction.
Mm.
Injunction, you,
The term injunction, please take note, lady and gentlemen.
injunction whereby a person who applies to the court an injunction to be stopped immediately for any action. To stop the action, we must apply for an injunction to stop.
That means your injunction, that means we go to the court
Yes.
and apply for an injunction. Okay. What is injunction? It's an act. It's a
No, it's
document.
not an act. It's not an instrument. It's a word used abbreviation.
Abbreviation.
Ah.
Okay.
Injunct, to stop immediately from further.
Okay. Next. Lodgement and withdrawal. Okay. Once you lodge a caveat, we have to withdraw. So, let's say someone is lodging a caveat. Okay, as a private caveat, let's say my father has a land, and my father running a business. Okay, my father has a land and my father running a business. He had that property is free from encumbrances. That means there's no loan, there's no commitment, lah, simply to say. Title is free. Now what he wants to start a business. What he do? He wants to borrow money from me. Bank loan is already he cannot take a loan. But he wants to take a loan from me. I'm the daughter. Okay? See, look. I have connection with my father as a daughter relationship. And my father has taken a loan from me. I've given him, let's say the property value, it's about 500,000. My father has given, I want to give my father wants 300,000. He can't take a loan from the bank. I gave him the 300,000. I have few siblings. Suddenly, I'm always worried because I have given my savings 300,000. I've got a property, but my father said, keep this land, this title with you, and you give me the 300,000. You can be my daughter, but you still financing me. If anything goes wrong, you can sell this property and you can take your money. If anything, if I'm not around, suddenly anything happens. So what I do, my father said, okay, with my consent, he just lodge a caveat in case. If I'm not around, if I put a will, it's fine. If I don't put a will, of course the shares goes accordingly with the letter of administration. My mother is not there, so mother passed away. So the shares goes equally with my siblings. So let's say if I have 4 siblings, I get one. All the siblings will get the shares equally. So my father says, you don't know what's happening. Anyway, you just put a caveat, because after my father, meaning my siblings, one of them, they want to sell off the property, but there's some disputes there, some misunderstanding in the family. Okay, say lodge a caveat. I go and lodge a caveat. I've got interest in the property. I've given my father some money. That means I have the interest on the property. I lodge a caveat. Okay, I went to the land office. I take the form 19B, isn't it, Mr. Morgan? Then the form to lodge a caveat, I gave my father some money. I'm lodging a caveat so that nobody can sell the property, nobody can do anything with the property. We must stop. So that's why the caveat is. So I went and lodged a caveat by using form 19B. Okay, put ready. So my name is there, the caveat is there. My siblings all cannot sell the property until I withdraw the caveat. Okay, withdrawal by court. Yeah, each caveat will last for 6 years. If I lodge a caveat, if anybody, that means the person who's got interest only must lodge a caveat on the title. People, not everybody, Tom, Dick, Harry cannot lodge a caveat. You must have a specific interest on the title. Right, Mr. Morgan? Okay. Same time, each caveat will last for 6 years. What happens after the 6 years? You have to do a renewal. If you don't renew, it lapses by itself. So after that, the title becomes free. Anybody can sell the property. I mean, the rightful owners can sell. The caveat on the property, the registered owner also cannot sell the property. I mean, so of course, he's the only person can sell the property. But you see, let's say the person died, next of kin will apply for letter of administration. Let's say there's no if there's no will. If there's a will, grant of probate. If there's no will, they apply for letter of administration from the court. Grant of probate is a will where the last testament of the deceased. I will have a paper. The paper's name called will. It's a will. So I say, after my death, my savings must go to Lavineshwaran. My property must go to Durgashana. My car must go to Mr. Morgan. My savings must go to my another daughter. My bag, my laptop must go to my neighbor. I will write everything in that paper. That's called will. So that will be 2% witnessed. Nobody will know in the family that I have a will. After my death, the lawyer will come and break the seal and read the will to the family members. He will call all the family members, come all sit together, not one by one, they will personally read, no. They call the two witnesses, either one or two, the one of the witness will read. This is what your mother wrote in the will, this is what she's going to give you. Okay, so for this will to alive, the paper must be alive what? To act. So I will appoint my brother Balmurugan to be the executor who managed the whole of my estate. So this is called my estate lah. My property, my savings, my jewelries, my belongings falls under one estate, Premila's estate. So you must have one manager, that's called executor in the will. If it's letter of administration, we call administrator. This one I'm writing a will, it's executor. Who is the executor here? My brother. Okay, he will take. Okay, I will manage. All I will give you. Okay, you supposed to take this. You supposed to take it. He will do. For that document to be alive, you have to apply for a grant of probate. You have to file it in the court to get a grant of probate, so that with the grant of probate with the will, then the action will take place. If I write a will, if I didn't write a will, I died already suddenly, I didn't write a will in a paper and thing, then my immediate next of kin, that's beneficiary, my children, my husband will apply in the court. Pramila died ready, she have millions in the account, she have big Lamborghini, bicycle, so who's going to get? So all my children, my husband and my siblings will sit together. Okay, we will appoint Mr. A to be the administrator, the manager of my estate. So you all go to the lawyer, sit together, you will appoint and lawyer will go apply for the, put all everybody's name in the paper, apply in the court. Madam Pramila died, she has beneficiaries, so many beneficiaries, and the whole estate of Pramila, this so and so have to manage. You have to file in the court. Court will give you the grant, court will give you the permission, that's called the letter of administration. With the letter of administration, you can go to the bank will straight away release the money and release to who? The manager, the administrator. He will distribute, or to the lawyers. Lawyers will do the distribution. Am I clear here? Are you with me?
Yeah.
Am I being bored? I know I'm bored, Mr. Morgan. Yeah, that's how it should be. Okay. So, come back to this. Withdrawal of caveat has to be with a good reason. You have to withdraw within the 6 years. If you don't withdraw within the 6 years, after the 6th year, your caveat is no longer valid, it lapses until you renew it. Okay, so they'll give you another 6 years extended, still valid. Okay, comes under 3 to 4 up to 3 to 6, again National Land Code. Alright, okay, lapse and renewal, as I told you, private caveat lapses after 6 years, may be renewed with application, referred to again National Land Code. Alright,
1 hour 20 minutes.
No, அதை விட்டு இப்போ எத்தனை மணிக்கு you must give away?
அது எத்தனை பேருக்கு கொடுத்துக்கலாம், ஆனால் நான் காசு கொடுத்து இப்போ 70 வழி கட்டுட்டேன்.
70 இல்லையா?
ஒரு 10 வெள்ளி 15 வெள்ளி
இங்க
பம்ப்
2
பண்ணுவாங்க.
ஹவருக்கு எத்தனை இருக்கு பேலன்ஸ்?
இன்னும் 1 hour தான் இருக்கு.
இன்னும் 1 hour இருக்கா?
Stupid.
இதை விட்டுருங்க.
Can you not raise your hand?
Okay, let me show you some sample here. These are the forms, particular forms that we have to apply, or the application. So we call that Borang 19 for caveat. Borang 19 actually is meant for private caveat persendirian. So you have to somehow get this form, type it properly, and put your reasons why you want to lodge a caveat. Okay, let's say for example, this guy by the name of you see here, can you see Mr. Siu Wei Kit. Okay, he is actually the solicitors who's acting for the client. Okay, he is applying for the caveat. All right, he, because you see, even individuals still can go and apply for caveat on their own. They can go to the respective land office, and they can also put in fill in the form, write in the reason why the caveat being lodged. They can, but if you are going through a lawyer, that means you will know what exactly the lawyer is doing. So here you see, the solicitors is acting for a company is putting a caveat on a property. Hak milik tanah diberi hal dalam jadual di bawah ini supaya dimaksud untuk mengingatkan tanah itu atau kepentingan yang tersebut dalam jadual itu. Alasan-alasan tuntutan saya tanah itu ialah, you see the reason, kami telah menandatangani satu perjanjian jual beli bertarik dengan pemilik. The pemilik means is the owner. See, the person, the caveatee is lodging a caveat on this particular property because he has signed an agreement. Okay, kedai pejabat, a shop lot. The owner, the property is a shop lot, untuk membeli kedai pejabat tersebut dengan harga 1,300,000. So here he is the buyer. That means he has already initiated a payment of 10%, which is 130,000. So he has an interest on the property because he has paid so much sum on the property. So he has to secure his rights. So bagi menjaga kepentingan kami ke atas hartanah tersebut, kami ingin supaya satu caveat persendirian dimasukkan ke atas hak milik. So this is called caveat persendirian. So this particular person has bought, that means here it's a company who bought a property worth 1.3 million, and he has paid about 130,000. So he has got interest on the property. So the solicitor has lodged a caveat. Why? Simply because once you sign a sale and purchase agreement, you will have a gross period of 90 days or 120 days upon, if let's say the property has got consent, upon receiving the consent for transfer, from the consent for transfer, they'll give you 3 months or 3 months or 90 days or 130 days for you to pay back the balance. All right, so from there, from the consent, once the consent obtained, then that's where the time runs. So you have to pay the balance purchase price. If you don't, then your money, your deposit will be forfeited, and this caveat will be withdrawn. Until then, anything can take place. Fraud can take place, many things can take place. So to secure, for security purposes, the purchasers solicitors will lodge a caveat. Okay, this is the form. Okay, look, this is the form. You will have about 3 to 4 pages. So first page will be the reason, second page where you will put all the this is the third page. Second page will be who is lodging the caveat. Here is the solicitors. Third page is the details of the property. Can you see? Okay, this is the property. All right, and then finally you still have to do a declaration that you are the one who is doing the caveat. They're putting up a caveat. Sorry, on behalf of you, the solicitors is lodging the caveat, not you. Sorry, the person who is doing it. anybody on behalf of you who's doing, they have to declare, and it has been attested by session court judge, magistrate, or commissioner for oaths. All right, so this is for private caveat. Let's talk about this is private caveat. All right, okay, now you see, this is the withdrawal form. Just now was 19B or now is 19G. 19G, borang 19G. It is to withdrawal of private caveat. So this is how it looks like. Can you see this clearly? Okay. See, this is the private caveat. I told you individual. Company also consider private caveat. Here this is a sample. And Kartina Sari binti Idris, seorang warga negara Malaysia yang beralamat bla bla bla, nombor perserahan. So this is the nombor perserahan, that means this is the caveat number. Okay, now sebagai yang dihendaki kami sertakan bersama ini, or you still have to pay. You see, the 60 ringgit, it's the very important fees you got to pay. If you don't pay the 60 ringgit, your withdrawal is not accepted. Okay, saya Ahmad is the solicitors who's acting for Kartika. Okay, so now Ahmad is applying for withdrawal. See, dengan ini mengaku bahawa tanda tangan di atas yang bertulis di hadapan saya, okay, bahawa adalah cukup umur, all this the declaration. Okay, these are documents, the title particulars. Okay. Notis tak menarikkan balik caveat persendirian kepada pentadbir tanah negeri Selangor beralamat yang masuk. So Kartika, the one who lodged the caveat, now she is withdrawing the caveat. So there is a form, and this is the sample of the form. That is how it has to go on. And then saya ingin menarik balik caveat itu di bawah section 325 Kanun Tanah Negara, section 325 of National Land Code 1965, because 1965 is not here. Okay, so this is the sample. Alright, okay, now you see, this is the withdrawal form. Just now was 19B or now is 19G. 19G, borang 19G. It is to withdrawal of private caveat. So this is how it looks like. Can you see this clearly? Okay. See, this is the private caveat. I told you individual. Company also consider private caveat. Here this is a sample. And Kartina Sari binti Idris, seorang warga negara Malaysia yang beralamat bla bla bla, nombor perserahan. So this is the nombor perserahan, that means this is the caveat number. Okay, now sebagai yang dihendaki kami sertakan bersama ini, or you still have to pay. You see, the 60 ringgit, it's the very important fees you got to pay. If you don't pay the 60 ringgit, your withdrawal is not accepted. Okay, saya Ahmad is the solicitors who's acting for Kartika. Okay, so now Ahmad is applying for withdrawal. See, dengan ini mengaku bahawa tanda tangan di atas yang bertulis di hadapan saya, okay, bahawa adalah cukup umur, all this the declaration. Okay, these are documents, the title particulars. Okay. Notis tak menarikkan balik caveat persendirian kepada pentadbir tanah negeri Selangor beralamat yang masuk. So Kartika, the one who lodged the caveat, now she is withdrawing the caveat. So there is a form, and this is the sample of the form. That is how it has to go on. And then saya ingin menarik balik kewit itu di bawah Section 325 Kanun Tanah Negara. Section 325 of National Land Code 1965, because 1965 is not here. Okay, so this is the sample. Alright. Okay, our as I told you, the steps that each individual who intends to buy a property, it's good to do a search. Okay, search in Malay we call carian. That is carian persendirian and carian rasmi. Look, in that carian you will have the keluasan, that is the measurement, the demarcation, taraf pengguna, pengganggaran, that is land status, and then kawasan reserve, whether it's Malay reserved or not, and then you have the restriction in interest, sekatan kepentingan. This is very important because it's here completely states whether you need the approval letter, the consent approval, consent for transfer. Consent for transfer is actually to transfer from A to B, the name. Consent for transfer, that means the state authority has to consent to transfer to the new purchaser's name. Without the consent, you will not be able to perfect your MOT at the land office. So this is one of the main reason that you should know about the property, about any property that you wish to buy. Okay, second thing, pemilikan and alamat, the ownership. Who's the owners, the history of the owners, you have to know. Okay, come back to our recap here. I told you about search. Search is something that any individual who is interested to purchase a property, they should do this search. You can do it on your own, or your solicitors should be able to do it for you, because that's where you know the status of the property, where is the property is encumbered, the encumbrances, the history, the ownership, anything to do with the property. You see, there are two types of search. One is private search, one is official search. Okay, what is the difference between official search and private search? Okay, let me explain to you. You see, normally the difference is the steps is the same, the principle is the same, just that you have to be differentiate what is the differences. Okay, let's say private search, you will know exactly, it's a certificate that they will give you, or you have to apply at the counter where in the land office. So they will give you a certificate saying that whether the property is under encumbrances, if there's a caveat there, all this they will explain to you. Then they will also tell you what is the demarcation, the land area, and then the land status, whether it's freehold or leasehold, and when is the expiry of leasehold. All that you can do it on the search. And kawasan reserve, that means whether if it's a Malay reservation. Malay reservation is, you have to be very careful, where if you're a non-Muslim, you're not allowed to purchase the Malay reservation land. Alright, and now you see, sekatan kepentingan is the most important clause that you should be aware of, because you see, the restriction in interest is sometimes will stop and oppose the whole transaction of your purchasing of a property. Sometimes some lawyers will not be aware of this restriction. It's their duty to find out about the restriction in interest, but you as a buyer, you hold the sole responsibility to know more about the property, the history of the property. Okay, you see, when come to restriction of interest, the consent for transfer transfer from A to B. That means your old buyer to the new buyer. The state authority has to give a consent to transfer to the new buyer's name. Then the whole sale is completed. Let's say it's rejected, then the sale is not completed. You see, there are cases where consent being rejected. You see, look at this. You see, kebanyakan hanya boleh digunakan pakai. You see, pakai. Kebanyakannya digunakan untuk hartana pajakan, dan jika ingin melakukan penukaran hak milik memerlukan surat kebenaran persetujuan negeri. You see, you saw the word surat persetujuan surat kebenaran persetujuan negeri, state authority, consent for approval letter. This is the most important. If this has been rejected, the whole sale is aborted. Okay, then they can reapply with a reasonable reason. You have to reason out. It is a very complication, and then a very complicating deal actually. It all time consuming. Some banks institution, a financial institution, they will accept the delay. Some financial institution they not be able to do it. So it's all depends on the lawyers how they going to apply for the consent. And you see, consent they are not supposed to take longer time after signing the sale and purchase agreement. It has to go like immediately once they have paid the 10% deposit, execute the document, and then they got to apply for the consent as fast as possible, because the payment, the balance 90% will be released upon the consent received, because time will be the balance purchase price will be counted 90 days or 120 days upon receiving the consent, the letter of consent. Yeah, let's say if the solicitors takes their own time to apply for the consent, and then it comes late, who bears the delay interest to the purchase, the seller? It is the buyer who pays. So this is one of the disadvantages. It is the high risk that the buyer has to be aware. Any delay in the whole transaction besides consent caveat, the buyer bears the cost. So buyer, end of the day, you as a buyer stand the most risk. So make sure this thing is most highlighted in the title. You see, in the title this is definitely stated, so where you will only know when you do a search. Okay, that is for private search I'm talking about. Now let's talk about this Carian Rasmi. Carian Rasmi is official search. Okay, where for the private search it will give you the record, everything, whatever it is stated on the title. Whatever is on the title, you will also read in the title search document. It is a report. It's been printed by computer, and you pay for that report about 60 ringgit if I'm not mistaken. 30 ringgit for private search and 60 ringgit for official search. So you will have the full details as printed on your title without the registrar's signature. Okay, when you talk about Carian Rasmi, official search, official search. Look, it is where the document has the registrar's signature. So that means registrar will check on the details and also will check on the consent, and also he will check on the syarat nyata, the restriction of interest, what is stated. So he will print his signature there. This is a private search form. This is how the private search look like. This is how it looks like. Okay, this is how it looks like. Look, can you see? Yeah, this is how the private search look like. Okay, and the same, this is the same document. It will be written there, Carian Rasmi, that means official search, and registrar's signature will be printed here. So once registrar's signature is printed, it's called registrar's official search. Official search, yeah. Okay, you're clear? You're clear about it? All right. Okay. This is how a search look like. Search is very, very important in every purchase of property. In every purchase of property, investment, when you come for the look. Can you see this? Carian persendirian. Ya, pejabat daerah dan tanah. This is seberang perai, tengah, in Penang. Okay, all the land officers are same. All land officers are same. Okay, you will have the full details of the property. Look here, what is written here. Can you see this? Kategori kegunaan tanah, right? Kategori kegunaan tanah. Tanah ini hendaklah digunakan untuk tujuan kediaman saja. That means this plot, it's only meant for residence, ya. Bagi plot-plot kediaman di dalam pecah sempadan yang diluluskan oleh Majlis Perbandaran Seberang Perai. This is MPSA, ya. Okay, that means sempadan yang dipecahkan dari allocation that Majlis Perbandaran, council have allocated. Okay, the council allocated. Tanah ini hendaklah digunakan untuk tujuan perniagaan saja. That means bagi plot-plot rumah kedai di dalam pecah sempadan yang diluluskan oleh, okay, if you have this tanah hendaklah digunakan untuk tujuan perniagaan, so this plot is meant to be only for shop plots. That means meant to, so these three clauses is not going to be in your pencarian or on your title as well. This is a sample. They could be only one of those, yeah. Okay, let's say tanah ini hendaklah digunakan untuk tujuan tangki majlis, tapak pencawang elektrik, dewan orang ramai, surau dan lain-lain sahaja mengikut plan urusan yang diluluskan oleh Majlis Perbandaran. Okay. See, all these clauses will be on a respective title, not all this, sorry. Depends on the title. If it's kediaman, if it's residence, then this will come. If the property has a restriction, let's say there's nothing at all, no restriction, no nothing, sekatan kepentingan. You see, this is encumbrances here, sekatan kepentingan. If there's nothing there, the word tiada will appear. Tiada will appear. So when the word tiada appears, consider you don't need to get a consent from the authorities. You don't need a consent. So that means when sekatan kepentingan shows tiada, that means the property don't need a consent from the state. Don't need a consent from the state. Straight away, the purchaser has to start looking for paying back the whole of the balance purchase price to complete the sale. So the tiada word and the restriction, I mean sekatan kepentingan and syarat nyata is very, very, very important on a title base, on a title background. These two clauses are the most important that you got to look into it and pay a serious attention, and probably your solicitors should be able to explain to you about this. Alright, you get me? So come back to the sekatan kepentingan. The very second it's nil, tiada means nil. So your transaction is smooth and easier and faster. So the financial institution, the bankers will be very comfortable to release the balance purchase price. They don't need to wait for any longer, or the sale need not to be hold on for that consent to come and documentation to be perfected. No need. They can proceed with the sale to release the balance purchase price, because the solicitors will be at the position of stakeholder to hold whatever proceeds means money, to hold for the transaction. So long you don't have a syarat nyata, the restriction in interest on the property, sale will go through smoothly and faster. Okay, if you have this restriction of interest, you got to wait for this consent for transfer. If the consent of transfer approved, then it will go on from there. If it's not, you have to reapply. You have to do a rayuan. You have to reason out why your consent was delayed just now, and why your application was delayed, and ask them for the reason why it's rejected, and all. It'll take time. So the most important is the search in a deal. All right, thank you. Told you effects of caveat. You see, effects of caveat is something that very, very frustrating. Let's say I give you an example. All right, I'm auctioneer. Yeah, I've been auctioning property for the since 2016. I have come across many situations, successful bidders. Okay, successful bidders have bought properties, condominium, land, landed properties, terrace houses. There are situations where these people have bought the property for cash. Okay, there are two situations here. One, people buy cash. That means if it's 200,000, they pay cash, full cash. Another one, they take loan from the financial institution like banks. Alright? Okay, in this case, they say properties with buying cash, it's easy move little bit. You know why? Because the people who has lodged a caveat, they either have interest on the property or the title, and not on the property, on the title. Caveat is nothing to do with on the property building. It's just the document, the title document. So caveat is basically on the title document. Nothing to do on the building, on the land, nothing. It's just the title document. So, because title document is where you transfer your name, everything you do. What happened here, a cash buyer who bought a property, so from an auction sale, successful sale, a good bargain, they concluded the sale and they bought over. Everything went on smooth, payment was done. They cannot do the transfer of name. Why? Because simply caveat is not withdrawn. Caveat is not withdrawn. Caveat is not taken off, right? So, lot of problem. Transfer of name. The X name still exists on the title. What happens? So, here the legal advisor, the lawyers will come in. I mean, of course, from the day one, lawyers will be there. They have to file in for a withdrawal. Let's say this Hatnat caveator and KVT. So the caveator is where the land office that they lodge a caveat. KVT is the person who lodged the caveat. So the KVT a bit stubborn and doesn't want to withdraw the caveat. He said, okay, the earlier owner owes me 600,000. You pay me 600,000. Here the dispute comes. Here the dispute comes. Again you will go to the court. The court will decide, because not the new person bought the old KVT. Old man, the old owners, old owner owed the KVT, correct? So, how does this situation come? How does this situation be settled? Court will come in. Okay, if you don't withdraw the caveat, because this new party is nothing to do with your dealing, you have to withdraw by force. He has to withdraw, so the transaction will go smooth. Okay, still can. Right? Next, the person who's paying loan, taking a loan, bank loan. Okay, when you buy a property, so of course you will initiate a payment of 10%. You sign the agreement. So in auction case, you sign the contract, the memorandum. So when you buy a property, you pay 10% on the auction day. Immediately after the fall of the third hammer, it's considered sold. So next step is sign the contract. Okay, the property agreement. All will be done until the transfer again, the MOT. They cannot do the transfer. The loan, the banker's loan will not release. The whole transaction will stuck with the 10% money only. Bankers will not release the loan, the balance purchase money. Why? Because clearance from the land office is not there. There's a caveat. Of course, the banker's lawyer will do a search and say, look, there's a caveat on the property. They will not release the money. Okay? So somehow they have to file it again, long process. Again, caveat has to withdraw by force because the new buyer has got nothing to do with the caveat. So the long process. So literally the message here is the transaction won't be smooth. Some hiccups. They have to go through court procedures, land office procedures, all will take time. Who is the victim of circumstance here? Who is the victim of circumstance here? The scenario?
The purchaser.
The purchaser. Correct? Who is the victim of circumstance?
Purchaser.
Purchaser. Because he is the one paying and cannot have a smooth transaction. Property is not being transferred. Right? Okay. Rights and remedies. Caveator has a legal standing. Who's the caveator? I told you just now. Who's the caveator? No! Caveator is the land office. Has the legal standing. Caveatee is the person who lodge a caveat. Caveator is the person who accepts the caveat. So he is addressed as a caveator. So the land office is a caveator. The person who is lodging becomes a caveatee. Right? Landowner may challenge in court. As I told you, the case will go to the court and again things will delay. So this is called the challenge. Alright. Again, National Land Code sections 327 and 329. Okay, clear? Common disputes. Look. This is the situation of a property when you have a caveat.
Oh, Sunday property, huh?
Sunday.
Sabri pumili ka daw talaga.
So, you cannot do anything with the caveat problem. Caveat problem can come from anywhere. Family dispute, forged interest, overlapping caveats, disputed ownership, family dispute, problems among the family. This is the family house, my father's house, my mother's house, my grandfather's house, my grandmother's house. You all cannot do anything. I will go and lodge a report. I challenge you how you want to do the transfer. You give me 1 million, I withdraw. Another one will go. I also will put a caveat. So 10 caveats will go in, messing the whole transaction, messing the title. Okay. Second, forged interest. I'm sure Mr. Morgan would have come across a lot of forged interest. Can you please share some of your experience, Mr. Morgan?
Forged interest meaning?
The title forged, and then they have this caveat problem there.
Forged? I'm not really sure about this. I was not into it. Forged. All genuine cases.
Alright, okay. Overlapping caveats, as I told you. Few caveats, few people put caveats on the same property. Okay, for example, here is an additional knowledge. If Durga Shana put a caveat on Mr. Morgan's property, you withdraw already, you cannot put again.
Okay.
On the same property,
Same property,
can
on a different interest.
not in the same reason.
Mm.
You can.
No, for what?
Okay, let's say Dukashana has given you some money, you have pledged your title with her. Okay, she put the caveat, she lodged a caveat and then she withdrew. Again, about 6 months later, again you took some money again with her. Again, can she lodge a caveat?
Mm.
She can. She's allowed. Okay.
You can lapse overlay with my land.
Mm.
I can
Excuse me.
do Krishna pinjam money, so she pinjam. So I sign, she lodge a caveat.
Mm.
Then again after 6 months, Durga second caveat goes in.
Mm.
Then I go to Ambapulu, Mr. Ambapulu, 40 years old, right? So I take money from him. So his caveat also can put it.
He can. So, on the one title, is it called overlapping caveats?
Yeah.
It's overlapping caveats. You see here, in one title, there will many people can put caveats. What happens to the title, Mr. Lavik?
Like that.
Yeah. Property will be like this.
Ah,
Nobody will
something.
enjoy. Okay? Situation.
Caveat.
Right? Okay. Fraud in title dealings. Forged documents. Forged documents.
Interest.
Let's say, you see, nowadays, scammers, you can forge, you can do that, you do this. Many things we can, okay, forge. Titles can be also forged. Titles can be also forged, okay. Scammers, they are intelligent. Scammers intelligent. They merge, they create forged documents, forge that, forge this, to extent that they can also make forge exactly. Now, they can even make money, isn't it? What do you call that? Artificial money, what do you call that? Duplicate.
Counterfeit.
Counterfeiter.
Fake currency.
Fake
Counterfeit.
currency.
Counterfeit.
Fake
Counterfeit, fake currency. This is nothing for them.
Forged
Fake
currency.
document.
Yeah, counterfeit.
You see?
Fake currency.
Forged document. Some people, many lah, I'll tell you many. There are people who use forged document and they will pledge the forged document in the financial institution. Those days, yes, financial institution were weak. They accepted documents. They even give, they have sanctioned mortgage loans, yes. But now, no, because they have the AI intelligence to see whether this document is genuine or not. So, misrepresentation. Misrepresentation is you represent the document. Okay, whatever wrong documents you're putting, all fake documents, you call misrepresentation. Illegal caveats, illegal person. Simply, illegal caveats means like you will say to the land office that Mr. Morgan took money from me, that's why I want to lodge a caveat on the property. That means actually by right he has not taken any money from you. And Ali's land, Ali give it to Ahmad. Nah, my property I give you, you give me 50,000. You hold the property for me for 20 years. My son come back, my son will pay and take back. What I did, he sold to Achong. He sold to Achong. He said, this is Ali's land. I, Ahmad, I'm keeping this land, but now I sell to you lah. What Achong will give 20,000. Achong will give 100,000 to Ahmad. and he will lodge a caveat there. You see, Ali put the titles to Ahmad. Ahmad sold to Achong. Ali took 50,000. Actual property value is 200,000. But Ali, for emergency purpose, he took 50,000 only from Ahmad. Ahmad gave the 50,000, holding the title as a collateral. And now what Ahmad did? Sold the land to Achong. Achong give 100,000. Now Achong what to do? He put illegal caveat. But you see, the actual owner who? Ali. It's not convert to Ahmad yet, you know. But Ahmad put the title to Achong. Achong gave 100,000 to Ahmad and took. So here, illegal caveat. Correct? Legal redress available. That means you can challenge. This case can go to the court. Right? Title investigation. Always conduct land search. Check for encumbrances and caveats used in Tana portal. Okay? Search. You can go to the respective land office. Let's say now properties in Taman Maruli Cheras under the Wilayah Persekutuan. So under Wilayah Persekutuan we have land office. Wilayah land office.
Land registry.
Wilayah land office is land registry.
So only one land office in one state.
One state is land because this is a state, right? Wilayah Persekutuan. So no more Kuala Lumpur, only one registry. That is the land office in near the Selangor Club there. So you go there and you do a land search. Okay, land search. So they will give you a report. Who is the current owner? What is the situation of the property? Is there any caveat? Sometimes title loss, they take a new title. All that long history will be there. They will print out a paper report and give you, and you have a charge for that. A minimum, not a minimum charge, a standard charge. So you will have the history of the property. That's called a land search. Check for encumbrances and caveat. When you say encumbrances, that means the loan. Some people, they take loans on properties like under company, isn't it, Mr. Morgan?
Charge under bank.
Two,
Bank,
three banks.
financial institutions, money.
Can one title take few banks loan?
Can, provided the consent is given from the first charge, where your property is charged to Durgasana Bank.
Yeah.
The property value 1 million.
Mm.
Bank of Durgasana give you 200.
Mm.
Then after some time, you want extra money,
Mm.
you go to Bank of Davinishwaran.
Mm.
Davinishwaran say, okay, I give you, provided Bank of Durgasana give consent, you got no objection. So he also put the charge. Then after that, come back to Bank of Morgan, JP Morgan, must get the consent, then can.
So under one property, that means you have various variety, various of bank giving you loan
With the consent,
with the consent of each bank.
provided the value is within the
Is, let's say,
Budget.
valued within the
budget or value of
value
the
within
property.
the loan amount requested.
If the property value 1 million, the total charge 200 must be within the 1 million.
So that means bank A give partial, bank B give partial loan, bank C give you partial loan.
Very
So
rare
under one
can-
title, meaning normally for one title, one bank only will give. But there are possibilities, many banks will give loan for one property within the market value of the property. Okay, partial.
Very rarely they will
Very
not
rare
get
case, very rare case. So that's called, that whole thing we call encumbrances. Okay, so when you do a land search, these encumbrances all will be there. Every bank institution who's giving loans and giving you the money support, everything is printed on the land
that.
title.
Encumbrances meaning anything relating to the land is encumbered.
Yeah, encumbered, yes.
Encumbered means got dealing with the land, like example KV.
Mm.
Then probably charge,
Mm.
then disputes,
Mm.
then court.
Yeah.
commentary.
Whatever it is, encumbrances.
Ah.
All the history in and out of the property, we call encumbrances. Caveat is caveat, as I told you just now. Use e-Tara portal now online. Okay? Right. Caveats in auction, as I mentioned you just now. Properties, caveat mean fact bidding must be declared to buyers, may deter sales. I told you just now. I'll give you a scenario. That's the
Yes.
Okay. Removal of caveat, as I told you, apply under National Land Code section 327. Grounds, abuse, expiry, settlement, registrar or court may remove. If that particular person, if Ravinish put a caveat on Mr. Morgan's title and Ravinish is so stubborn, hard doesn't want to remove his caveat, then we have to file it in the court or to the land office registrar. Registrar is land office, court is court. So we can file in, and by force he has to remove. If you don't remove, he will be fined and he have to pay a certain fine to the court. He has to by right. Okay?
Compensation.
Right. Case laws example Chua Ng Kong Ng Kim Sri Ri Affin Ban Yap clarifies caveat abuse and validity. These are all the landmark cases where we can refer. These are cases where it's still ongoing. Things are not being settled. Complications. Okay. Lawyer's role. Advice on lodging and removal. Prepare documents. Represent in court or tribunal. Okay. Of course, this whole transaction we need a solicitor to act for you. Can a buyer sell act on their own?
Cannot.
Cannot. Miss Shana, can a buyer and a seller, can they act everything on their own? Definitely. You need a legal person. So the legal person is the solicitors, advocates and solicitors, because they have the knowledge of the legal way of dealing on the property. Of course, you have your if a lay person like a normal buyer and seller, they will not know how to apply, how to file it in the court. You will not be able to do so. So of course, you have to appoint a solicitors to act for you. Alright? The documentation, there are varieties of documentation for varieties of situation. Why, Mr. Ravinish?
Nothing.
Why? Okay. So there's varieties of documents to be filing the respective court, or cases can be filed both also in the cases can go to the land office, can also court. Disputes we can file in the land office and the court. Okay. Properties doesn't have title. Which properties don't have title? Tell me. What are the properties that don't have title?
All the properties.
Properties don't have title is a properties condominium, apartment, flats. Because the building is on the master title. They don't have the individual title. So these are properties don't have title yet. Later, once they go in after 15 years, 12 years,
All
then
properties do have title.
no, not those.
Upon completion.
Upon they will have time to get the individual title from the master title. So those properties don't have title. Okay, no title yet. It's falls under loan agreement cum deed of assignment. Correct? The deed of assignment. Deed of assignment is equivalent to a title. So the properties under the master title, the condominium, they will be given a loan agreement cum deed of assignment. It's agreement like a booklet that prevents their right. So with that document, where you can go? Let's say let's say A owing to bank B. So bank where how they can file in the case in the court
No, filing case for what?
if they default in payments.
No. Yes, you can file in the court also.
Can.
Huh?
Or even no title.
Hmm?
Still can lah. Okay, so either court or land office.
Hmm.
Land office also can.
Not necessarily land office cannot. Bank.
No. Bank is the financiers.
Yeah, they can forward in the default.
Yes.
Default what the bank does is auction of the property.
Auction off, can they run the auction in the order for sale? Can they apply in the land office?
You don't need to apply.
If they want to.
They will appoint an auctioneer.
Oh, no, Mr. Morgan, what my question is,
Either they can appeal to the court or the land.
can file in the court.
Not in the land office. The court or the auctioneer.
Okay, auctioneer is the person who conducts the auction.
Engage the bank and
Order for sale
order for sale from the court.
from the court. Okay,
Yes.
so all cases has to go to the court. Represent in court or tribunal. So, what is tribunal, Mr. Morgan?
Tribunal representative in court or tribunal for what purpose? No, land matters they don't necessarily go to the court. Land matters will go to court. Apart from the land matters only will go to the tribunal.
Apart from the land matters.
Yes.
Okay.
What
That
is
means follow up lah.
No, nothing to do with the land matters.
Okay.
Tribunal is something got to do other matters.
I see. Okay. Alright, we'll go to the next slide. Title and caveat search. Manual e-Tanah search. Show current title holders and caveat need for the due diligence. Okay, and I'm sure you know what it's all this about. Okay, state of practice, as I told you just now, Mr. Morgan said, documents of title, final title, qualified title. This final title, registry title, land office title, grant pajakan, grant mukim, pajakan mukim, qualified title, registry title or land office title. Okay, with this chart, what do you think, Mr. Morgan? Can you just give me some brief information?
What brief on that? Documents of title,
Yeah,
qualifying title, finding title, all are titles.
yeah,
All equal to one title. What
Yes.
is you see, pajakan, okay, I start from the bottom.
yeah,
Grant meaning is a perpetuity. Grant means title. The word grant. Then beside, okay, registry title.
yeah,
Registry title.
yeah. Pajakan negeri.
No, now registry title, they
Yeah.
will have two. One is grant.
Yes,
That means perpetuity, freehold.
freehold.
One pajakan, negeri is a leasehold.
Just now there was freehold and leasehold, right? That comes under the first land office, state land office.
State.
You know, I told you the 14th state, the land office, that comes the grant, perpetuity. Pajakan is the leasehold. So that comes under the state land. Okay? This one, land office, every state got land office, kecil-kecil land office, right? That's called the mukim, pajakan mukim. You see, grant mukim, pajakan mukim. So the district, this is the district lah. Okay, see, in Selangor we have Pejabat Tanah Daerah, Pejabat Tanah dan Galian Selangor. Okay, Selangor. If my property, I'm staying in Selangor, just Selangor, Banting Selangor. So Banting Selangor goes where? To Shalam SUK. Okay, Selangor. So Banting land office don't have. Ulu Langat. Kuala Langat. So they don't go here.
Go there lah.
Then here where you go?
You see, not go where the issuing time, where they issue from.
Ah, okay.
Where you see, that's why I'm saying the land is belong to the state.
State.
Okay?
Right.
So we don't know unless we see the title document. Whether it is from the land office.
Or the state office.
Yes, everything is issued from the state only.
Okay.
So to expedite time So the speed lah.
Alright, okay. So, there are, I'm sure you will get something here. Grant Pajakan, the land office, kecil land office, we call that Mukim. Okay, so this title, where it's from? You see, the first title, whether you take from the Ibu Pejabat land office or the kecil land office. If you take from there, that's become the Pajakan Mukim. If you take from the Grant Mukim, if you take from the head, becomes Grant and Pajakan Negeri. That's different, alright? Qualified title, land registry hak milik sementara, land office title hak milik sementara Mukim. So this thing is the same thing, qualified title.
From
After
here,
the survey, after the demarcation of the
No.
property,
from here only goes to this
from
final
here,
title.
from here goes to here.
Yes. No. From all these only comes to the end.
Up.
Document of the title.
This all go becomes a document title. Okay, correct. Alright, next. Case scenario. Buyers find caveat during purchase. What happened? Must resolve before transfer. Legal advice essential. Of course, when you want to buy a property, you have to do a search. You must know what is the property all about. What it's all about, and you must know this property belongs where. So if they have problem in the property disputes, definitely the transfer will not take place. You have to get a legal advice, right? So we have now briefly finished everything. So we will go to the tips. Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, it's a tips before buying a property. Miss Dugashana Vashaini, can you please read what's on the screen? Yeah, what's on the screen? It's a tips, practical tips.
So first is conduct a land title search in the land office, pejabat tanah or biar tanah, and the purpose is confirm check for any caveats, charges, leases or restrictions. Identify if it's a qualified title or a final title, current owner.
Okay, Mr. Lavinesh, check for caveats. Can you read loudly?
Check for caveats. Ensure there are no private register or court caveats that may block the transaction. If a caveat exists, the buyer must investigate the reason, may insist on removal before signing the sale purchase agreement, may walk away if the issue cannot be resolved.
Mr. Morgan, could you please briefly read the third one?
Verifying land use and zoning. Confirm that the land is suitable for your intended use, residential, commercial, agriculture. Some lands, example Malay reservation land, may have restrictions. Inspect property physically. Check boundaries, building conditions, encroachments or squatters. Engage a survey if necessary. Confirm the seller's authority. If selling under power of attorney, PA, confirm that it is a valid and registered. If it's a company, verify board approval and authorization.
Okay, briefly, these are tips actually. It's a tips. So what do you really understand here?
I understand it's a tips.
Of course it's a tips, Mr. Lavneshwaran. It's definitely a tips, okay? But you see, conduct land title search, as I told you just now, repeatedly. Okay, it's very important when you want to conclude a deal. Okay, let's say you appoint a registered estate agent who acts on your behalf. If you are the seller, the middle person who's you're going to appoint someone to sell your property, we call property agent, estate agent. So sometimes they are good, they will also do property search, they get the history of the property, they will file, they'll have a complete documents in their file. If in case the buyer wants to see, they will show. So what is the role of an agent? They will make appointments, show property viewing, carry the buyers to go to the location, to the property, to view, whatnot. So what we are supposed to do, they will do. Okay, so all that they will get the history of the property to confirm whether there's a caveat, whether the charges, or whether it's a lease or restriction. Okay, charges means like bank charge lah. Bank, whether they have taken loan or whatever, or somebody from loan sharks.
I think that's the duty of the lawyer, not of the agent. Agent's duty is.
That's why I'm coming there. Sometimes agents will take extra work to do. But definitely when you appoint a lawyer, this is the lawyer's work to do. That's his responsibility. Here, before he could draft a sale and purchase agreement, of course they have to do a land search. Right? They have to do a proper land search and draft the S&P, sale and purchase agreement. Okay? Check for caveats. Of course, caveat is very important before signing the sale and purchase agreement. You have to check whether there's a caveat, because the whole thing will stop then and then if the caveat is there. Alright, very important. Properties, you must check whether anybody has lodged caveat or not. We don't know. Suddenly one stranger's name will appear on the title document. So you never know who is the stranger. Sometimes you may find him, sometimes you will not find him. Maybe he has died. What happens? Okay? We don't know. It's better to do a search. Verify land use and zoning. Of course, this is something very common, because the land is for that purpose, resident purpose, agriculture purpose, commercial purpose, factory purpose, all has been, because sometimes can agricultural land, suddenly somebody, when can they build a house on agricultural land? Can. What happens then?
Build a house and stay.
Yeah, of course, build a house and stay, Mr. Mugan. If let's say, if a land office or new buyer, I'm a buyer, I want to buy that agricultural land. But I did a search, I see it's agricultural land, but I see somebody is squatting there. What happens?
No, you can stay in agricultural land. You're entitled.
I don't want the property, I don't want the squatter to be there. I want to have the land for my agriculture purpose. What can I do?
You are buying the land, so demolish the squatter. Lah.
Okay, can we do that?
No, it's a squatter means squatter is.
Have they? Okay, I'm buying a land.
Mm.
Okay, the somebody is renting a property there. Okay, the ownership is transferred to me. I'm the owner.
No, now you're talking about agricultural land.
Agricultural land.
In the agricultural land.
Yes. On
What
the
they have?
agricultural land, they have a house.
Okay.
Can they build a house on the agricultural land?
Can.
Can. It's not illegal, is it?
It's legal. For your own use, it is legal. You can build one house. You cannot build and sell. It's your agriculture house and land, 1 acre. You can build your own house. One land, one house. If you got a 10 acres, how many houses can build?
10 acres in one, 10 acres.
She got 1 acre of agriculture land, she can build one house. But you got 10 acres,
10 house, lah.
cannot, only one house.
Oh,
Because one agriculture, one person can only build one house.
one house.
Yes.
It's not 10 acres, 10 house.
No.
Oh, but that is under one.
Agriculture, yes.
No, it's under one title.
Yes.
Okay. Inspect property physically. That means the buyer must go and see the property, whether the property has got roof, whether the property has got doors, whether the property has got floor. You know, you want to buy a house, of course you got to go and see the house, and you like, you go further. If you don't like, you don't go further, right? Confirm the seller's authority. How to confirm the seller's authority, Mr. Morgan?
Confirm the seller's authority.
Yeah. Meaning, who is the seller?
Oh, confirm. You say who is the?
Is he confirm the seller's authority? If selling under power of attorney, confirm that it's a valid and registered. If it's a company, verify board approval. Okay, let's say.
Oh, the vendor, whether he is a
The
registered
seller.
vendor. He is a registered owner.
Yeah.
Okay, by you're talking about power attorney,
Let's say-
whether the vendor has authorized the power attorney, whether the power attorney is authentic,
Authentic to
Ah.
execute all relevant documents
no, whether
pertaining
it
to
is
the
genuine
same.
and authentic, is whether it's genuine power attorney.
Okay. How to know whether it is a valid document, the PA?
It is been registered, all the power of attorney should be registered in the court and the land office.
Okay. Alright. Okay. So, PA, what is actually a PA?
PA means it's a power given, power of attorney.
Yeah.
That means you are an attorney for another party, acting for Durgasana.
Okay.
So that means Durgasana giving you the power of attorney. For that material time, Durgasana cannot be there.
Hmm.
She, let's say she is away, so she give you the power. So you become the Durgasana for the material time.
For that material time, for the specified
To whatever
matter dealing.
dealing with the land.
Can power of attorney given for any other dealings?
Yes.
Besides sale and purchase agreement, the property dealing can.
Yes.
Okay, so we can specifically mention in the PA, that's power of attorney, what so and so got to do.
Without the presence of
The-
Durgasana, the
The
owner.
legal owner,
Legal
the
owners.
proprietor.
Yes, call
The
you.
proprietor.
Come, Madam Pamela, come.
Mm.
I'm living to England for 2 years.
Mm.
You take care. I give you the power. So you are now
Become Durgashana.
Durgasana.
When
You
come
give
to
it.
the, alright.
Only for the 2 years she had given you time for.
Okay, that's called for individual properties, right?
For anything.
For individual property. Let's say the property under a company, you know, people used to buy properties under company.
Buying at the company, purchasing in the company. So okay.
The company has to give authority, I mean, PA, is it?
No, company is giving, company is buying means company is not a sole. Company got shareholders, they got staffs, so they can manage. Until unless the company wants to deal with, let's say the company got a property in another place, so they will appoint somebody there, they'll give the power of attorney there. The company, when a company is issuing
Can a
power,
company give a power of attorney
can.
to an individual?
Yes, with a resolution.
Oh, that's a certain document called resolution. So
Yes.
that should be executed by the directors.
Resolution must be passed by the board of directors of the company
Passed
to give the PA.
Oh, resolution has to be
Passed
passed
the
by the
Board of directors of the company.
of the company.
Ah.
Alright, okay, that is the procedure for.
Like
Company.
example, what company, Nagdi Kayu Syndrome had.
Okay,
So I want to give the power of attorney to Lavanishwaran.
okay.
So Nagdi Kayu
Mm.
must pass a resolution by the board of directors. Who are the board of directors? Emma Samantha Mukan,
Mm.
Emma Samantha, Priyalata Jane Mukan,
Okay.
Joshua Ravi Mukan, all are board of directors.
Directors.
Pass the resolution to give to Lavinishwar.
Alright, okay. So that's called a resolution. The document
Passed by
called-
the board.
passed by the board. Alright, okay. Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Finally,
Hmm.
we do the summary of our module 1. A purchaser is advised to know the type of title held under a property. Okay, that's the purchaser's rights. Every single purchaser, every individual purchaser, or anybody buying property, they must know the type of property, the type of title of the property. That means leasehold ka, freehold ka,
They must know what they're buying.
okay, simply they must know what they are buying. Correct. Module 2, what we discussed was a potential purchaser is advised to conduct a search on a title before he or she which wishes to purchase a property. That's I told you just now, a search to know about the title.
That is conducted by the lawyers.
Lawyers, yeah. Module 3, practically lawyers owe his duty of care to his client to advise the actual status of the title that his client wishes to purchase. Is a lawyer's duty, right? Of course, when you want to buy a house, as I asked you, you need a lawyer to act for you, right? So he has to do his part. So you will take this advice. That's why the lawyers are there
Yeah,
for.
they are buying house.
Okay. Module 4. Always consult a legal profession for guidance. Who is the legal profession here?
Moving
Lawyers.
lawyers.
Solicitors. Alright? Okay. Can we take a 5 minutes break?
Oh yes, of course.
Right, we'll go to the next section. Okay, Mr. Morgan, Shana and Mr. Lavneshwaran. We have now reached to the final stage of our training today. I would like to make a recap. Of course, you know what I'm trying to say here. It's clearly stated. Always check the status of the title. Know your rights on caveats. Of course, you must have the National Land Code. This is very important. You see, this one, I think all individuals, they should get one. Because it's precisely said what is title, how does things work, and also you have the sample of forms. What are the forms you can go for, and then land office forms, you will know the sample of forms. At least you will have some knowledge of this. I think all of this is advised to get one. We should own this National Land Code, each of us, okay? Legal help is vital, of course. Everything you do, you need a lawyer to back support you. Alright? Okay, now, do I expect questions?
Yes.
Do I? Okay.
Yes.
Can I throw questions to the floor?
Oh no.
Can I?
I think I believe that is better.
Is better. Okay, Mr. Morgan. There are how many titles in Malaysia? Property titles.
How many titles in
And
Malaysia?
how many types of titles in Malaysia?
Types.
Of titles.
Okay. Leasehold, freehold, strata title.
Oh.
That's all, 3 types of titles. And you must know what the category of the title is. See? Types of title. TOL, temporary occupant license.
Yes.
There is temporary occupant license.
There is a license falls under the title as well. It's called temporary occupation license. So that's also a title, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Then Malay reservation,
Yeah,
community land,
okay.
customary land. Customary land and community land are same. They call it community Malay land. It's not a Malay reservation.
Now, community Malay land.
That is basically on certain states.
Okay.
The Malay community land falls to the states where unfederated Malay states.
Okay.
Only Malay states is Malay reservation.
Okay.
then freehold title,
freehold title,
leasehold,
leasehold. Thank
and
you so
category,
much.
and
Thank you.
category, and category of land.
Yes.
We have industrial land,
All right.
agricultural land,
Okay.
commercial land,
Okay.
and whatever certain lands only you can build certain things like hospital,
Okay.
like golf course.
Okay.
Still we can go.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Durga Shana Vashaini. If you are allowed to buy a property with overlapping caveat, okay, if you are buying overlapping caveats on a title, what will you do if the caveatees, refuse to withdraw? What you should do?
No, firstly you must have an interest on the property to purchase. You must like the property first.
Okay, what if she has the interest?
Yeah, she has the interest. What I'm saying is you have the interest.
Aye.
So where do you go if the caveatee refuse to withdraw the caveat? What will you do?
No, first you must have the interest to purchase the house.
Yeah,
Then
what-
she must engage a lawyer. Then
Yes,
I'm going to
Mr.
buy the house.
Yes, Mr. Morgan.
Go
Then
to
the
What
lawyer
am
will-
I-
Shana.
Yes, Mr. Morgan. What I'm saying,
We need to lodge a report
lodge a report. Where do you lodge a report?
in the court.
Police court.
Yes, you go to the court. So who does that? Your solicitors. So the best place, you go to the court, and then court will force them to withdraw the caveat. Alright?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
If she got interest in the property, this is only discussion. She must have the interest in the property. When she likes to purchase the property, she engage Lavaneshwaran, her solicitor. Solicitor go and check. There's a caveat there. So, if still the lawyer will advise overlapping caveats, you were saying
Yeah.
tapping caveats, say Miss Durgashana, I think there are a lot of problems. You can't purchase, this is my advice.
That's the solicitor's duty to advise.
Mm.
What I'm saying is, she's still interested to buy the property, she still wants the property. What if she still wants to go buy the property and the caveatee is refused to withdraw the
So that is a risk, own risk. If still want to purchase
Yeah.
from the seller,
Yeah.
she can buy pay cash and take over the property.
Just the
Because she
transfer
got
will not
interest.
take place.
Yes.
Transfer will not take place. Okay.
Then the lawyer must apply to the court
Yeah.
or the land office. No,
Yes.
land office. Apply to the land office.
Apply to the land office.
Mm.
Alright. Okay.
Not report to the court.
Not report to the court. No.
Apply to the
apply to the court. Yeah. Alright. Okay, Mr. Lavaneshwaran, may I just check
How
with
many
you?
houses do you
What
have?
will be the ideal age
Yeah.
for an individual to purchase a property?
18 years old.
Of course, 18 years old. Yeah, you become a major when you're 18 years old. 21 or 18, Mr. Morgan?
A teenager is below 18, above 18 is adult. Am I
If you
right?
have
Yeah,
money,
no,
you
I'm
can
talking
purchase
about major.
Maybe it's 18, huh?
18 and above. Of course, yes, you're right. You can buy a property once you're 18 years old. Why? Simply because you're considered as a major. It's same again at this junction. You see, a little boy or little girl still can buy a property if he has money, and it comes with a trustee. Is it? Trustee holds the trust. So once you become 18, the complete trust will be conveyed to your legal ownership, right, Mr. Morgan? Okay. Okay. Third question. Miss Durga Shana Vashaini, Malay reserved land can a non-Malay buy?
No.
No, why?
Because it's for Malay people.
It's for Bhumiputra.
Not Bhumiputra, it is a Malay reserved land. The land is being reserved for Malay. So the next buyer or next person who is going to own the land has to be Malay. Because it's already said alienated for Malay. Okay, alright, Malay. Bhumiputra, what is it, Mr. Mudan? Okay. What is leasehold?
Leasehold is just a period of time,
Period of time
99 years.
alienated by
The government.
not the government, land office.
Ah.
For roughly.
Land office, the government.
What is the how long can a leasehold be?
99 years.
Yeah. Varies, right, Mr. Mugan?
Can be 1,000 years.
1,000 years also.
Yes.
Varies.
999 years got.
Mhm.
99 years got.
Yes.
In East Coast all 990 years.
Coast
999. So that is 1,000 years.
1,000 years.
Sabah Sarawak all 999.
Sadly, we are in Kuala Lumpur, so it was
Okay.
99 years.
Alright, thank you. Okay. Overall, we have learned about the types of title and the caveat today. So I hope you have known some knowledge of what is caveat, known what is some knowledge of title. Right? There are many other matters that we can discuss, but time limit, it's only limited to this extent. In our next training, probably we will talk more about topics on land dealings and also title again, and many other connected or related topic. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.